about the Abui language, which, as I said, is one of the many indigenous languages which is part of the OCSEAN project. It's spoken on Alor, which is why we have our Alor team over here. About 41,000 speakers. It's a non-Austronesian family. It's a Papuan language. And it is classified as endangered. It's in contact with the lingua franca Alor Malay. And it has a lot of verbal morphology. Okay, so let's get to the first question. What is the sociolinguistic status of the Abui language? We saw earlier that it was classified as endangered. So what this means is that parents raise their children using Alor Malay instead of Abui. But children hear Abui from the environment, so they're still exposed to it. Children typically cannot understand the local language as children, but when they become adolescents or young adults, they begin to understand a lot more and to be able to respond in the local language. So it turns out we actually observed this phenomenon all over island Southeast Asia. And Dr. Arnold over there, and I compiled a big list of languages which experience this type of language acquisition. And we've termed this late vernacular production. So as a result of this sociolinguistic situation, one of the things we were interested in is how has this situation affected the Abui language? So what we've observed is that there's simplification in the language. The possessive system has become simplified. The lexicon has decreased. There's a lot of code mixing with Alor Malay. And the differential argument indexation system is being restructured. This is a lot of technical linguistic jargon to say the language is undergoing change and some categories are being reduced and simplified. At the same time, unique sociolinguistic situation has also led to some retentions or innovations, namely in the reduplication system, which has elaborated to develop new distinctions based on Alor Malay. And we also find that the marking of animacy in differential object marking is retained. For those linguists, language context specialists amongst us, this is quite rare, unexpected, because usually when languages come into contact, you see this system dying out. And so it's quite interesting that it remains. But apart from that, and this is probably a more important part of this talk, is due to this situation, what are some of the activities that we've been engaged in for many, many years to try to preserve the Abui language? So as a little caveat, why do revitalization to begin with, and why do it from a community-based approach, or why engage in community engagement? So it's been claimed for some time now that revitalization should be community-driven. And our role is to share our knowledge, create opportunities, share our network with speakers, bring various people together, and think big. I say our role as linguists as well. And this is how we can work closely with the community. Now let's go deeper into some of the activities. So many years ago, a dictionary was produced, and then a rapid words elicitation session was also done. I'll get into that in just a second. We've been compiling children's books. We've been collaborating with the Language and Culture Unit. There's been a lot of posting about our documentation and revitalization activities on social media, which has also helped the process. There have been mother tongue festivals that have been organized on Alor, which have also a lot of activities at OCSEAN, which have sped up the language revitalization process exponentially. And I'll get into them as well. So this was some of the earlier work done by Fransje Kratochville. Dictionary is always important, but then we had the rapid words elicitation, which helped us collect around 13,000 words. There were several books compiled by Frantische Kratochwil and others where expert design students helped design the books to make them look extra professional and also very culture specific and sensitive, to make them more appealing. So this was a big success. And then we also had 2 books compiled by 2 Abui community members, one of which is Dani Lanma, who's standing here in collaboration with the Ministry of Education. Okay, this is an example of the storybooks produced by Frantische Kratochwil and others. And this is one produced by Daniel Lanma. He actually came up with this story on his own. So this is a new form of literature that has emerged in the last few years. And he's actually managed to publish and illustrate it. So this is some new literature being designed. And this is another book by another one of our members who couldn't be here, Waksi Maufani. And then we've also, so we set up a collaboration with UBB, whereby UBB sponsored our participants to go to Kupang, attend orthography and grammar writing workshops, and also observe multilingual education in their indigenous language.